Hello everyone, hope you are well. I wanted to continue on my legend series, and today I'm giving one of my favorite batsmen in the early 90s, late 80s, and who was one of the most elegant batsmen of all time, and someone that captured the imagination of a lot of people. I'm talking about Martin Crowe of New Zealand. He was born 22nd September 1962 in New Zealand, and he played 77 Test matches for New Zealand, and he scored 5,444 runs at an average of 45.36, and he scored 17 hundreds, and his highest was 299. That came against Sri Lanka at Basin Reserve at Wellington in 1991, which was a record match. I'll come back to it later. And in one day cricket, he played 143 matches and he scored 4,704 runs and he scored 400s as well. And in first class cricket, he scored close to 20,000 runs with an excellent average of more than 56, and he scored 71 hundreds as well. And without any doubt, Martin Crowe is regarded as one of New Zealand's greatest cricketers, one of New Zealand's greatest batsmen, and a lot of people would say he is New Zealand's greatest batsman of all time. Definitely, certainly before Kane Williamson came, at least. And he was a blockbuster batsman. I mean, no doubt about it. And a lot of things to say about Martin Crowe. He sadly died of cancer in 2016. And Martin Crowe was very famous for in that 1992 World Cup. I mean, here in 1992, the Benson and Hedges World Cup that was held in Australia and New Zealand. He was the player of the tournament, and he scored 456 runs in that tournament. And he was a captain as well, and he took New Zealand to the semi-finals. New Zealand were table toppers. I mean, it was obviously no groups. It was all teams were playing against each other, and New Zealand were the top team in the league phase, and they had only lost one match to Pakistan. And in the first match, he scored 100 not out against Australia, and New Zealand beat Australia in that match. And even in that semi-final against Pakistan, he scored 91 runs his 90 runs of 83 balls, which was a quick fire innings, and he propelled New Zealand to 262 for 7. But unfortunately, he couldn't field in that match because of a hamstring injury, and that kind of cost the match for New Zealand as well, because Pakistan were in trouble and had a big partnership between Imran Khan and Jawad Mehta, and later Inzamam Mughal played a blind rough at innings. But if Martin Crowe was probably on the field and captaining, New Zealand probably would have won, and they would have gone into the finals as well. And his highest score, that 299 that came against Sri Lanka in 1991 at Basin Reserve, Wellington, was a record match. New Zealand were batting in the third innings, and they were trailing Sri Lanka by 323 runs. And there was a record partnership of 467 runs between Martin Crowe and Andrew Jones. And at that time, it was the highest partnership in Test cricket. And New Zealand finished 671 for 4. And at that time, it was the highest third innings total in a Test match as well. And Martin Crowe made his first-class debut for Auckland when he was only 17 years age. And he also made his Test debut for New Zealand when he was only 19 years old. And in 1985, he had an amazing year, and he was one of the Wisden Cricketers of the Year. In 1985, he had an excellent year. He scored 288. He scored 188 against West Indies at Georgetown, and he also scored a famous 188 against Australia at Gabba, Brisbane. And that match was very famous for Richard Hadley's 15-wicket spell in that match, which New Zealand won. But Martin Crowe had also scored 188. So the 1985 was a brilliant year for Martin Crowe. He also had a brother, Jeff Crowe, by the way. And in 1985, when he was selected as a Wisden Cricketer of the Year, he was also credited as one of the best young batsmen in the world. That's how Martin Crowe was seen. And in 1994, in the tour of England as well, I mean, he scored back-to-back hundreds at Lord's and also at Old Trafford. And Martin Crowe, I mean, sadly he died. I mean, when he died, The Guardian said that he was not just one of New Zealand's greatest cricketers, he was also one of the most elegant batsmen that the world had ever seen. And Mark Nicholas, the great commentator and cricket writer, had a lot of things to say about Martin Crowe. He said that Martin Crowe was upright, orthodox, and very strong and immensely strong at the wicket. And he also praised Martin Crowe for his quick and decisive footwork. And Wasim Akram, the great Wasim Akram, has once said Martin Crowe was the best batsman that countered his reverse swing. Because once Wasim Akram was asked about all the batsmen and how they fared against in-swinging Yorkers and reverse swing, and he said the most difficult one to get out was Martin Crowe, and that Martin Crowe's footwork was excellent, and he used to play the ball very late as well. So that is a great tribute coming from probably the greatest fast bowler of all time. And Martin Crowe also once said at his retirement, which is a very important thing, youngsters watching or learning, listening to this video perhaps, Martin Crowe said that it's a very important thing about batting that you have to play on instincts, and you have to avoid premeditating a shot. I mean, today with this T20 cricket, obviously, a lot of people premeditate and play a lot of funny shots. But obviously, when I say about Martin Crowe or legends, I'm obviously talking about Test cricket, the best quality top cricket, and also one-day cricket to an extent, but not T20 cricket. So Martin Crowe was saying that a batsman should never premeditate a shot, and he should play on instincts, which is very true. When you talk to a lot of players, the best advice anyone can always give you is to always play the ball on merit. You cannot you cannot be a batsman and say, I'm going to hit this ball, next ball to the cover or to the mid wicket. I mean, you have your favorite places definitely in your mind, but you always have to be reactive and instinctive to the ball. The ball, it's like the bowler always asks you a question and then you have to answer it. So you cannot answer a question without a question comes. It's like that. So you have to be always instinctive and play the ball according to its merit. That is what exactly Martin Crowe said, and that is one of the greatest advices he can give to a batsman as well. So that is a very important thing what Martin Crowe said about batting. And he also someone that I think probably underachieved a bit. He should have scored more runs than that. I mean, he only played 77 matches for New Zealand and 5,444 runs. Martin Crowe is definitely one of those elite players who should have scored 8,000 runs or 10,000 runs. But I mean, I always sometimes say it about certain players, but you don't have to score 8,000, 10,000 runs when you are Martin Crowe. He was definitely a class apart. I mean, a lot of things he has done. And he was looked up to by a lot of people as well. And he was a very innovative and imaginative captain. I mean, if people remember the 1992 World Cup, he's the first captain that introduced off spinner, a spin bowler to open the bowling. I mean, in the 1992 Benson and Hedges World Cup, Martin Crowe opened the bowling with Deepak Patel, the off spinner, and that was the first time anyone had seen a spinner open the bowling in one-day cricket. So he was a very imaginative and a very proactive and innovative captain, and a lot of people have credited him with that as well. I mean, Ramesh Raja once said that he was one of the most imaginative captain that he has ever seen. And Mark Nicholas, a lot of people have given him a lot of credit for being a very proactive leader. And Martin Crowe had all the shots, and he was very stylish, very elegant, and that's why in the Guardian said that he was one of the most elegant batsmen of all time. He was definitely, he had a lot of time to play his shots, and like I said, a lot of batsmen that I put in my legend series, when Martin Crowe batted, it was like a master batting, someone who had everything in control, and he was very good. I mean, his footwork was excellent. Like Mark Nicholas said, he was very good, quick and decisive footwork, and also very sweet footwork as well. A very elegant footwork that he had. I mean, he was definitely a complete batsman. I would definitely say, I mean, yeah, Kane Williamson is definitely a great batsman, but before that, definitely, I mean, I would say Martin Crowe is definitely the greatest batsman that New Zealand ever produced, and even Kane Williamson, I'm sure, looked up a lot to Martin Crowe as a youngster, and every New Zealand player as well. And because of Martin Crowe and Richard Hadley together that New Zealand were able to get some big wins against big countries in that era, because they were the two world class players in that team. So that is my video on Martin Crowe, who is one of the greatest batsmen of all time and one of the most elegant batsmen, who had amazing footwork. And he was someone that even Wasim Akram rated so highly and said that he was the most difficult bowler to get rid of, especially with the reverse swing. And the one batsman that he said that played and countered the reverse swing better than any batsman that he had seen. So that is my video on Martin Crowe. Thank you to Martin Crowe for all the great memories, and also for that advice that he has given to youngsters about playing the ball on merit and not to avoid premeditating the shot and to play on instincts. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please take care and thank you for joining in. God bless you.